How we doing? Well, I thought I'd share some stuff that we've got done, some stuff we're still waiting on a few parts for, and that's why I haven't done anything else. The radiator from Jegs I got, it's in there upside down, which works out handy because I can burp the air out up here. But it's in there, it's mounted, it's hooked up. So basically when the hot coolant comes out of the engine, it'll go through the main radiator, out, up through this dual pass, and back to the water pump. Took a little work to get the air out of it. We got it out. You can see the sticker, and you know what that means. We got the little bypass in there, a little 1/2-inch ball valve coming from under the thermostat, makes a loop, goes back in the top hose, past the thermostat, the radiator, use it to burp air out. Can also use it to cool the truck down really quick. But, yep, it's all hard to see because it's kind of dark, but see if I can get light to come on. Turn the torch on. There you go. You can see how that one comes up and around another one. That's the feed line. That little uphill climb was a little bit of a pain to get the air out, but it's all out now. So that part's done. Over here amongst all the crap, here's the regulator. There's some more fittings in here. Fittings for the there. I've got some -16 bungs that can be welded into this, so we can use this radiator for a spare or whatever. Here's the new boost reference regulator for MagnaFuel. So, I've been working all day fucking staining trim. Light oak and light cherry. Here's the 2 new battery trays. Guy on eBay actually makes these. They're pretty nice. They're a lot cheaper than buying the high dollar ones. Now these, on the other hand, there's a little money here. My son's the one that actually got these for me. But these are the rear shocks for the S10, the Viking adjustables. I'm still waiting. It says it's out for delivery today, but we'll see. I don't ever trust what UPS says. But I got the Viking coilovers for the front with the 550-pound springs. Hopefully that's enough. If it's too much, I can change springs, but hopefully that's enough. They said they're for a big block S10. New fuel cell is in. I've got to, of course, now unhook the return line. I'll cut this hose down. I've got length of hose, more than enough. And I'll make it go down to the bypass and then cap the bypass on the pump because that regulator's deadhead. And then here's my bead locks from Kaiser. So these are a 8 with a 6-inch backspace. That's what I got. That's why it sets out to the outside. It looked like a Fox body Mustang wheel with all the offset out. But even with the 8/8 cut, but I went with the 8 with the 6 so I can tuck it up under the truck. These are really nice wheels. They're you see right there, it's bolted together. It's got rubber gasket in there. All this stuff's all laser etched, powder coated. They're spun out of aluminum plate. 6061 aluminum plate, I believe, is what they're made out of. Took some saving to buy these dudes, and then I got a set of 29-10-5s to go on them. And yeah, you can put a 29-10-5 on an 8-inch wheel. They do it all the time. But this is an 8 with a 5.5 backspace, and you can see there's not much out here, but so be it. I mean, my 8/8 still shortened 3 inches. Let me see if I can get you underneath here. You can see there's not too much more room, so that extra 1/2-inch backspace, I'm going to have to move that brake line retainer, move it out to the edge of that plate that it's on, because it does touch the wheel when I put the other one on it. Get both the Optimas in. I got all new battery cables and, of course, the new hold downs we've seen. Other than that, that's it. And as soon as the coilovers get here, when we do that swap, we'll put the tubular lowers on it that I got for it a while back. But This is in here because this cooled it fine when it was NA. There wasn't no issues at all. It run 180 all day long. But with the heat the turbos are going to generate, and I want to drive it on the street, this radiator, this little, it's like 17 by 20. I mean, it goes from right there all the way down. You can see where I had to cut out down here for it. And it's a dual pass. It's got 2 rows of 1-inch tubes in it. That's just insurance to help it keep cool. There's where I moved the oil cooler, where the oil comes out of the motor through the coolers into the turbos to try to cool the oil down. Like I said, this ain't a purpose-built drag car. It's just a hot rod. That's the best way to describe it. All of this is going to go -8. So I've made up -8 lines and had fittings, but I never changed it. So it's still -6. And then this is going to have its own fuel line for the nitrous solenoid now. I'm going to use the gauge port and probably just get rid of this gauge, since I have a gauge up there for pressure back here before the regulator, and I got another gauge, which no, that gauge is for the regulator. After the regulator, nitrous line will come around and go over to its own port. Or I may take one of those Carter pumps I got and run a separate fuel line dedicated just for that, and that's probably what I'll end up doing. But I don't plan on spraying it anytime right away, so that's no big hurry. I'll probably just cap this off or stuff it back in here, because I think the new fitting I got over here, wherever it's at, yeah, it's only got one thing in it. So, well, I just thought I'd share that with everybody. I got to get back in. I got to finish staining this trim and let it set for a minute, and urethane it and get it all put downstairs. So that part's done. And I can get that part project finished up in the basement. So I didn't think that crap would soak through an old sock that bad, but it does. Ugh. But anyway, yeah, it's like, I think light oak, and then the other one was medium cherry. Yeah, and you go kind of skim one first and take the other one and go over it, and it makes it, yeah, streaky looking. I'll show everybody when I get done if you want to see a video on it. I burn it, the wood, then I use 2 stains, sometimes 3 stains to give it a different look, and then I'll urethane the shit out of it and then put it back up. Cut it all, fit it all, stain it, do whatever I got to do to it, and put it back up. So, and I make all my trim out of 1x3s, and I router the edge. It's been a nightmare, but like I said, I'll show everybody if you want to see it. But, and then I painted these black so they weren't galvanized, because they stuck out like a sore thumb. But there you go, everybody. We're getting there. If I would quit and my son would quit upgrading parts, the truck would be running by now. But as soon as we fix this fuel issue, I don't care if shock's on it or not, I'm going to get it. I got to get it out of here and clean this up, because I got to come in here. All the plastic's coming down back here. We got sheeting. We're going to sheet all of that shit. I got new door front metal I bought 200 foot of 1.5 by 11 gauge, 1.5 by 1.5 square tube to make frames for new doors. I just got a shitload of work to do, and got to get it done. Last 3 days I hadn't felt good. Me and the wife went out to eat. Steakhouse here locally. Come home, it wasn't 2 hours. I had the worst stomach pain in my life. By 5 a.m. it all come back out, and it took me 2 days to recover from it. I mean, it was bad. I don't know if it was food poisoning. I was allergic to one of the seafoods on the sampler platter. Wife ate the same thing, but she didn't get sick, and I did. I just had a bigger steak than she did. Same steak, just different, bigger one. So, I don't know what the hell was the deal with that. I'm usually not allergic to anything. I can roll naked in poison ivy, poison oak, it don't bother me. You know, penicillin, a lot of stuff people are allergic to, it don't bother me. So, there you go, everybody. Got some nice shocks. The only thing I'm waiting on is my IRD carburetor from John Bittler down IRD, which will probably be at least another 30 days. It's been 5 weeks at this point, I think. I'll check with him at the end of May at 9 weeks. He told me 9 to 12 weeks. I'm not going to hound him. The man does keep in touch with me. So as long as he's keeping in touch, I ain't going to bother him. But there you go, everybody. You know, this kind of stuff, as everybody knows, takes time and it takes money. And this time, my son and I said we were going to turn it up and do good stuff. So that's why it's taking a little longer. And we keep upgrading everything. So, you know, probably over the winter it's going to get a better turbo. I ain't got nothing against VS Racing, but we'll probably step it up to a better turbo and better gates, better blow-off valves. I don't know. We'll see. If these work good, we'll leave them alone. If it works, don't need to change it. But anyhow, there you go, everybody. Stay safe. God bless. And I am going to try very hard to get this thing out and make some noise in the next week or two. And then everybody can get to see it run. I'll have my son stand at the end of the road. I'll build it up on Boost and launch it. We'll do stuff. You guys can see it. Because I want to do it. I'm tired of it setting. Last time I got tired of it setting, I threw an intake on it and drove it. So, everybody again, stay safe. God bless. And later.